The Mountain West Conference is one of the collegiate athletic conferences affiliated with the NCAA Division I FBS. The MW officially began operations in July 1999. Geographically, the MW covers a broad expanse of the western United States, with member schools located in California, Colorado, Hawaii, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. Craig Thompson has served as commissioner of the MW since its founding in 1999. The charter members of the MW included the United States Air Force Academy, Brigham Young University, Colorado State University, San Diego State University, the University of New Mexico, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, the University of Utah, and the University of Wyoming. Before forming the Mountain West Conference, 7 of its 8 charter members had been long-time members of the Western Athletic Conference. Half of these had been charter members of that conference from 1962. Overall, each school that has ever been either a full or football-only member of the MW spent at least 3 years in the WAC before joining the Mountain West. The 2013-14 academic year was the 15th anniversary season of the MW history. The creation of the MW was a delayed after-effect of the 1996 NCAA conference realignment, which had initially been triggered 2 years earlier when the Big 8 Conference agreed to merge with 4 members of the Southwest Conference to create the Big 12 Conference, which would begin competition in the 1996-97 school year. The WAC, which had initially announced plans to expand beyond its then current 10 members to at least 12, ended up with even more potential expansion prospects. Ultimately, the WAC took in 3 of the 4 SWC schools left out of the Big 12 merger: Rice University, Southern Methodist University, and Texas Christian University. 3 other schools were added to bring the total membership to 16, namely Big West Conference members San Jose State University and UNLV, plus the University of Tulsa, an NCAA football independent and otherwise a member of the Missouri Valley Conference. However, the newly expanded WAC was soon racked by tension between the established and new members. The final straw came in spring 1998 when BYU and Utah proposed a permanent split into 2 8-team divisions. Previously, the WAC's 16 teams had been divided into 4 4-team quadrants, 2 of which rotated between the Mountain and Pacific divisions every 2 years. A 2-division setup would have forced some schools into an unnatural alignment because of the geographic distribution of the conference. Air Force was the most strident opponent of this proposal, threatening to become an independent. Soon after the proposal by BYU and Utah, the presidents of Air Force, BYU, Colorado State, Utah, and Wyoming met at Denver International Airport to discuss the future, and they agreed to break away from the WAC to form a new conference. They invited the WAC members New Mexico, San Diego State, and UNLV to join them in what became the Mountain West Conference. The next move for the MW came in 2005, when the conference added TCU, who had spent the previous 4 seasons in Conference USA. On June 11, 2010, Boise State University agreed to join the conference as its 10th member. On June 17, 2010, Utah announced it would be leaving the Mountain West to join what would become the Pac-12 Conference. On August 18, 2010, amidst rumors that BYU was considering leaving the Mountain West to go independent in football and rejoin the Western Athletic Conference in all other sports, the Mountain West Conference officially extended invitations to California State University, Fresno, and the University of Nevada, Reno. Both schools accepted and would become the 10th and 11th members of the league. BYU announced on August 31, 2010 that it would leave the Mountain West Conference and go independent in football and become a member of the West Coast Conference in other sports starting in 2011. On November 29, 2010, TCU announced all athletic teams would move to the Big East Conference effective in 2012. On December 10, 2010, the University of Hawaii at Manoa accepted a bid to become the 10th member of the conference for football only. These changes would leave the Mountain West Conference with 10 teams for the 2012 football season. During the era of football's Bowl Championship Series, which was replaced by the College Football Playoff in 2014, the MW champion qualified for a BCS Bowl 4 times after the BCS formula was tweaked to allow teams from non-BCS conferences to play in BCS Bowls, if ranked in the top 12. However, 2 of the 3 schools that qualified are no longer with the conference. On October 14, 2011, the Mountain West and CUSA announced a plan for a football-only alliance. On February 13, 2012, the 2 leagues announced that both conferences would be dissolving after the 2012-13 season to reform into one conference with at least 15 members for all sports, and a 16th team. University of Hawaii at Manoa as a football-only member. However, when the 2 conferences discussed the plans with the NCAA, they were told that due to NCAA rules, they would forfeit substantial revenues. Specifically, the new conference would receive only one automatic bid to NCAA championships. At least one of the former conferences would lose future revenue distributions from the NCAA men's basketball tournament, and at least one former conference would not be able to collect exit fees from any members that departed to join the new conference. As a result, the Mountain West and CUSA backed away from a full merger. In late March of that year, the commissioners of both conferences stated that all 16 schools had entered into binding agreements to form a new association. Although the Mountain West and CUSA would have apparently remained separate legal entities, in the end, this alliance never materialized due to both conferences soon adding new teams. On May 2, 2012, San Jose State and Utah State agreed to join the conference for the 2013-14 academic year. On December 31 of that year, Boise State announced that it had backed out of its previously announced move to the Big East for football and the Big West for other sports, and would remain in the MW. On January 16, 2013, San Diego State accepted an offer to return to the Mountain West Conference in all sports. Keeping SDSU in the conference gives the Mountain West 12 football members, allowing for a championship game to be held. The first championship game took place on December 7, 2013. Member schools, current members, affiliate members, former members, membership timeline, full members, associate members, national team championships. Through July 2, 2015 sports, the Mountain West Conference sponsors championship competition in 8 men's and 10 women's NCAA-sanctioned sports. Hawaii is only an associate member for football, and Colorado College is only an associate member for women's soccer. Men's sports, men's varsity sports not sponsored by the Mountain West Conference, which are played by current full MW members. Women's sports, women's varsity sports not sponsored by the Mountain West Conference, which are played by current full MW members. Conference champions, rivalries, conference, non-conference football divisions. Beginning in 2013, the conference split into 2 divisions, named the Mountain Division and West Division, of 6 teams each for football. The Mountain West also added a conference championship game, pitting the winners of the two divisions. This first championship game took place on December 7, 2013 at Bulldog Stadium in Fresno, California, the home stadium of Fresno State, the divisional winner with the higher BCS ranking. Each team plays 5 divisional games and 3 cross-divisional contests annually. The 2015 championship game featured the Air Force Academy Falcons against the San Diego State University Aztecs. No other MW sport is split into divisions, not even women's soccer, the only other conference sport with 12 competing schools. Bowl games. The Mountain West Conference has agreements with 6 bowls for 2014-15. In addition, the MW champion has access to the so-called New Year's Six bowls associated with the college football playoff under either of the following conditions. It is one of the 4 highest-ranked teams overall, as determined by the CFP selection committee. In this case, it will play in one of the 2 bowl games that serve as CFP semi-finals. It is not a CFP semi-finalist, but is the highest-ranked conference champion from the so-called Group of 5 conferences, as determined by the selection committee. In this case, it will receive an at-large berth in one of the other 4 New Year's Six games. In the first season of the CFP in 2014, Boise State received the Group of 5 at-large berth, landing in and winning the Fiesta Bowl. If Hawaii is bowl eligible and not MW champions are selected for a CFP bowl, they will receive a berth in the Hawaii Bowl. Bowl Records Bowl Challenge Cup. ESPN created the Bowl Challenge Cup in 2002 for the conference that had the best college football bowl record among Division I football bowl subdivision conferences. The conference has won it 4 times, more than any other conference, by finishing with bowl game records of 2-1 in 2004-05, 4-1 in 2007-08, 4-1 in 2009-10, and 4-1 in 2010-11. Men's basketball. The Mountain West and Missouri Valley Conferences hold an annual challenge series that was renewed in the 2015-16 season after a 2-year hiatus. The series began in the 2009-10 season but temporarily ended when the original contract ran out after the 2012-13 season. During the first 4 seasons of the series, it involved all members of the MW and an equal number of the 10 MVC teams in basketball, with the MW now having 11 basketball members to the MVC's 10. The renewed series involves all MVC teams, with 1 MW team sitting out. The first game was on November 13, 2009, featuring the Bradley Braves and the BYU Cougars in Provo, and it concluded on December 23 with the Wyoming Cowboys visiting the Northern Iowa Panthers in Cedar Falls, Iowa. The challenge is similar to the ACC Big Ten Challenge, which pits men's basketball teams from the Atlantic Coast Conference and the Big Ten Conference. NCAA Tournament Records. Women's basketball. NCAA Tournament Records facilities. The 2016 season is the last for Colorado State football at its current venue. The school is building a new venue tentatively known as Colorado State Stadium and expects to open it for the 2017 season. Elevation. The Mountain West slogan is "Above the Rest," and over half of the member institutions, plus women's soccer-only member Colorado College, are at more than 4,000 feet above sea level. This impacts endurance in sports like football, soccer, and the distance races in track and amp, field and swimming meets, and aerodynamics in baseball. softball, tennis, golf, and a discus and javelin throws. The Mountain West's institutions have the highest average elevations in NCAA Division I sports. Campus and football stadium elevations. Schools in italics are single-sport members. In the case of women's soccer, only member Colorado College. Stadium elevation refers to the school's soccer venue. Elevation by conference. Elevation data obtained from the USGS Geographic Names Information System.